Do you want to learn a very, very specific way to prevent big business from screwing you over? And I'm not talking concepts. I'm not talking esoterics. I'm talking very, very specific takeaways. If you do, come join me. I'm going to tell you everything.
Now, I'm the writer, but I'm also a victim of this exact same stuff. And an example ripped from the pages of my book, literally just happened to me like 30 seconds ago. The first thing I did was to text my wife and kids what happened with this good news that I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm doing this video to relate and share the same information for you guys so you can see how this stuff, the empowerment described in my book, actually looks and feels in real life. So here's what happened. My son graduated from American University in Washington, D.C., a month and a half, couple months ago. And we all went out there, and I had to rent a car for not just myself and my wife, but my mom, my dad, my brother. It needed to be a decent-sized car for 5 people, plus all of our stuff. I picked them all up at Dulles Airport, needed to be able to cram all the stuff in the back. So I got an SUV, X3, and that's relevant for reasons that'll become apparent in a second. So we get the car, works out great, do the graduation, goes off without a hitch, return the car to the airport, we all go home. So about 3 weeks ago, I get an email from the rental car company whose name I'll disguise to protect the guilty. And it says, hey, listen, when you were driving through DC, you were picked up by a speed cam. Here's a citation for $150 plus some extra charges. You owe us $198 in change. I'm like, it can happen for sure. But I'm scrolling through this email and I'm like, where's the citation? I kind of want to see what I'm alleged to have done. Face my accuser. So I call him up. And because there's a number down at the footer of the email. And I said, where can I get this information? And they tell me I've got to go through DC Metro Police to get it. But here's some information that might guide me. I'm like, oh, come on, really? So I'm burning time now trying to solve this problem. So I go through DC Metro, spend a bunch more time. Finally, I get an email from DC Metro with a photo of the alleged infraction. You know how they do the speed cam. But it's not the license plate of a BMW X3. It's the license plate of a Toyota Prius. No way that's fitting 5 people plus luggage. So I'm like, wait a minute. That's nonsense. This wasn't me. This wasn't me at all. So I email back to the rental company and I say, hey, listen, couple of things. First of all, not okay. This wasn't me. You didn't include a copy of the ticket. I had to do all your work for you. And I learned that it was wrong. So I expect you to reverse that $198 charge. But you also took 2 hours or so of my life away. I can't get those back. And I'm a lawyer who bills by the hour. So I want my hourly rate for that time. I want an extra $1,800, $900 an hour. And I want that in a wire transfer or a check within a week. And if you don't send it to me, here's the hammer. I'm going to file a nationwide federal class action lawsuit against you on behalf of myself and all others similarly situated who are misidentified as having violated the traffic laws. And I'm going to try to get everybody's money back. And to the extent your contract has in it what's called a forced arbitration clause, which it does, and I covered this in the book, by the way, I'm going to file a mass arbitration instead, and I'll whipsaw you, and you'll be dealing with me either way. I expect to have payments soon. Send. About a week later, I get a response from them. We're sorry about the wrong charge. We've reversed the $198. We consider this matter resolved. I said, you know what? You might, but I don't. I said, that's a good start. I want my $1,800 or I'm going to sue you. Send. They email back. This is where it begins and ends. You're getting the charge reversed and that's all we can do for you. I reply, then you know what? I told you what I'm going to do too. I'll see you in court. Send. Literally, by now 3 minutes ago, I get an email from the rental company. We've reversed the charge. And without admitting any wrongdoing, without conceding any liability, but to avoid further involvement and expense, we can't pay you $1,800, but we'll pay you $250 upon execution of mutual releases, which means where you walk away, both sides, which is perfectly fine, and we'll consider this matter resolved if it works for you. I email back, that works for me, great. So I'm going to be getting $250 back from them for having wasted my time because I stood up for myself. I knew my rights. I knew the consequences of what they did. I didn't take any crap from them, and you shouldn't either. And this channel's directly into and through my book. I talk about what you can do with rental companies, with airlines, with all sorts of vendors who give you a hard time. You don't have to take their crap. I didn't. This happened to me. It happens to you. You'll know what to do if you take a look at the book and you bake legal wellness, awareness, guidance, aptitude into your being. into the way you think, you avoid that victim mentality, and you can, and it'll serve you well. So pay mind to what I did. If you'd like to do it yourself, do it. Don't be a crab. Don't fight everybody. Think about when it matters. Maybe don't fight the airline if you're a frequent flyer member. You know, I have a chapter on that in the book too. Pick your opportunities. You don't want to get kicked out. I don't care about this rental company. I'm not going to rent from them again. And you know what? If I do, they'll rent to me. I'm not a member of their loyalty program. They're not going to throw me out. So what's the difference? I gave it a shot, and you know what? I came out on top. You can too. Do what's right. Protect yourself, and make sure you put your legal wellness first.